Good morning. I'm standing here today to preserve our freedom and our right to make our own decisions. Would you do something you don't want to do to fit in, such as smoking, dealing, taking drugs, or drinking alcohol? If you said yes, I'm afraid you're betraying yourself as a person because you're not being true to yourself. You let other people treat you like a puppet that forces you to do things that can harm, ruin, and damage your body. This act is what we call peer pressure. It can influence you in a way that you give up your personal satisfaction just so you can be one of the crowds. It may be spoken or unspoken pressure. Spoken pressure is something that is said directly towards you that puts a lot of pressure on you. An example of this would be, just try it won't hurt you. Or, are you scared? You're a wimp. This pressure usually puts you in a place where it is hard to say no. Then, there is unspoken pressure, which is the act you are supposed to dress or act a certain way because everyone else is doing it, and it's the popular thing to do. An example of this would be, well, they are doing it, so I guess I should too. And since I am a college student, I am around with this kind of situation. I even have friends that enjoy alcoholic drinks or like to flaunt and show off their bodies. And even the act of playing online games, such as Mobile Legends, you started playing it because majority of your friends are being addicted to it. And they've come to tell you, oh, you should try it. And before you realize, you've already been influenced by them. All this peer pressure begins when you begin to believe that if you don't do anything, you will be excluded from the group. Most kids are afraid that if they don't do this, they will be alone, without friends, and would appear childish. So they take the offer because they don't want to be the only one who don't drink or smoke. And they pretend to be someone they aren't just to keep their friends. Are they, however, truly their friends? They treat them as if they're a toy that they can play with, telling them what to do and not what to do. However, continuing to do so may harm both the body and the mind because teenagers do not know who they are or what is wrong and what is good. Because they're being misled into believing that what they think is false and there will be no consequences. I tell you, everything will never be the same. You can never go back to how things were before. Your old self gets lost behind, you cross the line to the wrong side, and you don't realize that because of peer pressure and not being able to say no, and being fooled by your friends who are in the same situation, you could end up in a hospital with lung cancer, AIDS, alcoholic coma, and so on. Although peer pressure can be very tempting and powerful, you always have the option to make the best decisions. It's safe to assume that if something doesn't feel right, it probably is. You know what? It is not yet the end of the world. If you are conscious on what you are doing, you can find your true self that is lost somewhere inside you and leave that part of you who only follows other people's rule. If you have a friend who are going through this, help him or her because it can end up badly. And if it is difficult to do, there are many organizations that can help. But keep in mind that no matter what happens or what people say, you must always be true to yourself. You should strive to be the type of person who avoids bad influences and achieves success in life. Learn to say no and do what you want and believe in yourself rather than believing on what other people say. Thank you for your time. I hope you understand the consequences peer pressure can lead. And you know, there are solutions so that you can actually enjoy your time in college by just being you.